As we gather today on the traditional territory of the Treaty 8 Nations to conduct the business of the District of Chetwynd, we do so knowing that we are privileged to serve the citizens of this community, and we shall endeavor to conduct our business in the best interests. Thank you.
Adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Yes.
Motion to receive.
Second.
All in favor? Bylaws. Committee reports and liaison reports.
You can go first.
Senior citizens, very ignorant. We're looking at.
Councillor Guy, could you turn over, please? Thank you.
Little Prairie Haven is full. We'll have a vacancy in July, and we'll need a list of people to be in. Storage space has 28 rooms. Need to be filled about July 15th with person passed away on June 6th. Also, Northern California, number 12, as a resident moved in June 20th. We'll be having a fire drill and by the chief on this Thursday at 10 a.m. I went down and did like fairly slowly. It was like a bunch of school kids coming on there. Also, Carl Rose donated several $100 towards the Canada Day barbecue there. Also, the board of directors, they had their EGM and the board of directors all stayed on. And use some more volunteers.
On June 23rd, Sergeant Antonioni Stevens hosted the Citizens on Patrol training session at the Chetwynd Detachment. John Vetter, retired RCMP member and president of the South Peace Crime Prevention Association, facilitated. He explained how the Dawson Creek Citizens on Patrol group operates, how patrols are used, and the why behind an effective patrol. 10 people were in attendance, including Ellen McAvenny and myself. The Alberta Citizens on Patrol Association training guide was presented, as our COP program will be modeled after theirs. I encourage all community members interested in joining to call the Chetwynd Detachment at 250-788-9221 for more information. The South Peace Crime Prevention Association is holding a best golf tournament fundraiser on July 20th at the Dawson Creek Golf Course. The team rate is $600 and covers both breakfast and dinner for your team. As the Chetwynd COP is under the South Peace Crime Prevention Association, this fundraiser positively affects our group. Thank you.
I attended the NDIT Northeastern RAC meeting last week via Zoom, and our group approved, I guess, they need to state publicly that what they have approved and have not approved. But we had a successful meeting and distributed quite a few funds to big regional projects in the area. And I will say something about Canada Day Parade yesterday, because I had the pleasure of walking in the parade right up until I got tired. And the police cruiser picked me up and threw me in the back, which was nice. We went down to Spirit. I gotta say, the parade was really well attended. It was one of the best parades I've seen in Chetwynd. It really shows the community members are just really bought in and show a lot of pride there. And then Spirit Park, we were trying to figure out numbers, the amount of people that came, sorry, not Spirit Park, but the water park behind the new library and rec. And I think we were looking around saying there's about 500-600 people that attended. Families, it was windy, but it was a really great event. And all the organizers, I think, did a really good job. And it wasn't just the people on staff organizing, but also quite a few volunteers coming together, and it was lots of fun. Motion. A motion to receive the reports.
I'll second.
Discussion items.
Thanks for your patience. All right, there was news release, BC Ministry of Environment and Climate Strategy dated June 14, 2024, regarding the major park expansion, Will Better Project Senior Sites, Caribou Habitat. I think there is some, discuss the different park expansion. Oh, motion to receive.
So moved.
Sir.
Discussion.
We've received this, are we allowed to speak on this?
Yes.
We've received this, quite a, written letter, regards to a rebuttal from Mr. Saltzman. I don't think, I personally don't have any issues with the, no sign.
I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling to hear today. I'm not sure if it's just because it's starting to be crawling, but it's really tough to hear back. I don't want kind of wrong.
Okay.
Sorry, it's wrong.
Anyway, and me personally, I don't have any issues with the way, all I have is the issue is the way it went, all we were, period. And, we get more news from our First Nations in this area as opposed to the provincial or federal government. They don't speak to us at all. They just, here's what it is. And like I said, we get more news from the First Nations here than we do from any other form of government. I don't think, yeah, that's my 2 bits for fun.
You want me to speak to it?
Yeah, sure, please.
Well, there's a few, I guess, key points. There was not any local meeting or anybody in attendance from local First Nations, local government, no local representatives were invited. It was just a press release from the province. And Mr. Sogsted's article, I think, was meant to be a bit sarcastic, and it's easy to misinterpret it because it's kind of a little vague. Sarcasm is hard to do in writing. Also, we did receive a voicemail for the mayor from Charlie Brenchley, who's the chief of staff for Minister Hayward, apologizing for not having contacted the mayor prior to this. He said it was an oversight on their behalf. And that's basically all the information that I have.
So did they form the regional district and everything, apologize to them as well?
I have no idea. Yeah, no idea at all. I should also point out that in the government release, it says that this is consistent with the agreement from 2020 for the Southern Caribou Recovery Plan. So we've been told it doesn't impact access, it doesn't impact use. It's just an expanded park designation. But there's obvious concerns that we're going to be following up on. I have phoned the minister's office back. Charlie Brenchley was away last week. He's supposed to be back this week. He didn't return my call today.
I just want to add, I think being a community member and a council member, that it is important that we look at articles that are written across the board, as you know, that there's basically patriots out there or people's opinions or things that get mixed in interpretation. And hope that everyone just uses their own critical judgment on what is truth and what is not. I think that sometimes articles can be taken inappropriately and too far, and I think, especially when we're dealing with anything to do with multiple agency agencies, or like where we all come together with other agencies or cultures. And I think my big fear is that there was a misunderstanding or biases or things could be taken wrong. And I just hope that when these things come up, we're looking at them for what they are rather than being full truths, if that's the case. And just to address on that one article, I wanted to remind the author that this is Mayor Coutret's second term as mayor, not first.
I'll add something. This BC Ministry of Environment Climate Change Strategy news release that came out in regards to the expansion of this park. The focus is on the declining caribou, which we all can recognize that it is important. We all recognize that our nations really do care about it. I'm just going to reiterate what my colleague Councillor Deck said. I feel like we do need to be involved in some consultation, and I would think that the ministry would be aware of that from the previous announcement, where Chetwynd really rallied together and our community members were really quite upset at the lack of consultation. And I hope that ministry sees and hears us and doesn't leave us out further.
It sounds like, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like this has been something that's already been on the table since 2020. It's just that it kind of had the I's dotted and the T's crossed and stamped and sealed. And I think that your right, the ministry did not go about this correctly, and they definitely didn't include us in that, as they do often. I just hope that the blame or the responsibility falls on the ministry rather than any of our local organizations or fellow people to be responsible for that instead of a local oversight. Okay. Any other discussion on that? Okay.
I think the motion's already on the floor.
Okay.
The motion's been made, just to vote now.
Okay. All in favor? Next discussion item, letter from the Chetwynd Planning Committee dated June 12, 2024, regarding an invite to the 52nd Annual World Invitation Class A Planning Championships.
I'll make a motion that council authorize the mayor or alternate to attend the World Invitational Basketball and Championships in Taylor, BC on August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2024.
I'll second.
Any questions?
Have we ever, I'm just wondering why this was not received for information or authorized. Has anybody ever went? Has the mayor went to this? Or has anybody went?
I believe, I think we attend almost every year, but I think we didn't, obviously during the pandemic, but I think as my memory serves me, prior to that, we did. Just any further discussion?
Okay. Any further discussion?
I'm honestly just curious if we have any goaltenders on council here.
Are you not?
I'm not, but I am an aspiring goaltender.
Motion to receive.
There is
All those in favor? Thank you for your grace and patience with this today. This Chetwynd's currently continuously.
Here's a 4-minute slip.
Yeah. Right. Okay, we're moving on to correspondence. C1.
Motion to receive C1 through C3.
Second.
And discussion.
I believe we had more than just this one resolution. I'm assuming because it was in conjunction with others. I felt like our name was on a couple resolutions.
For UBCM?
Yeah,
For the, sorry,
that went
for-
through NCGLA.
Yeah, we did. We had a couple for NCGL LA, but what they do is any that are redundant, they'll kind of contract them into one. So R1 stands for UBCM, but that'll be our only one. But we will be kind of part of several others.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question for staff. Has there been any further progress with this NIFAC base and conversations you're having with Wildfire BC or with Minister Ralston? Is there an update with that?
There's no real progress at this point. They're supposed to contact us for a face-to-face meeting. They've been having scheduling conflicts, they tell us, so they haven't been able to come up and talk directly with Mayor and Council. We have had, as you know, the preliminary meetings and the letters. They're holding firm to it's not a reduction in services, and we're holding firm to 20 minutes as a reduction. You know, an anticipated 20-minute delay is a reduction in service when it's a wildfire in a stage 5 threat. So we're sticking to our guns and they're sticking to theirs at this point. It's one of the things that we'll talk to them face to face at UBCM if we don't talk to them beforehand. But they're supposed to be meeting us in the near future.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Okay, C2. Okay, moving on to information items.
I'll make a motion to receive I1 to I7.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Carried. Oh. You're on the reports to action? Okay. You just click on
Yes.
it. All right, reports to action. I'll try not to mess this up too much. The opportunity for public input for RA1 BC Housing Development Variance Permit 012024. This portion of our regular council meeting is set aside to allow for public comments on the application from 1289258 BC Ltd for developmental variance permit to place an accessory building 4.57 meters from the front parcel line on the property located at 5157 50th Street. This is not a formal public hearing process, but rather an informal process. I will, however, ask each person who wishes to speak or state their name and residential or business address, then provide council with their comments. I will now ask if there are any comments from the public on the application from 1289258 ECO TV for a developmental variance permit at 5137-50th Street.
Other comments?
I declare this public proceeding concluded. Do we have to?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see, look at this person. Sorry. Maybe it's not this person.
No, we still have to, yeah.
My apologies. Sorry, everyone.
I'll make a recommendation that pursuant to section 498 of the Local Government Act, RS 2015, Council of the District of Chetwynd authorize issuance of development variance permit number 02-2024 to 1289258 BC Limited to place an accessory building 4.57 meters from the front parcel line at Lot 1, District Lot 1813, PRD Plan 24992, 5137 50th Street, within the District of Chetwynd boundaries.
Second.
Or can we bring Councillor Duncan in?
It's the same.
Okay, sorry, no, sorry.
I'll make the motion that council approve the issuance of development permit number 02-2024 to 1289258 BC Limited to construct a 52 by 32 building with a 15 by 30 deck for recreational purposes on the property at 5137 50th Street, Lot 1, District Lot 1813, PRD Plan 24992.
Second. Any discussion?
So I'm not really sure what we use this for. It looks like a recreational building with a patio, and they're right across from the daycare. And I would just like to, it'd be nice if the presenter could be here, or the applicant, because I'd just like to know what's going to go on at this establishment, especially in the summer on the patio.
Fair enough. It's basically the owner has asked for like a gathering place for the tenants. It's not designed to be like an after hours place or anything like that. He was saying things like Christmas dinners and Christmas dinners for tenants that didn't have family. Basically what he said is there would be no visible activity past what's already on balconies in the summertime. And there haven't been any complaints that I'm aware of the bylaw impacting, the daycare or anything like that. And any adult type behaviors I would think would be after the daycare would close for the day as well. He just wants to kind of instill a sense of community and an added amenity for his apartment buildings. So it's kind of like a games room, a place for them to have dinners and gatherings, birthday parties, that kind of thing is what he said.
Thank you.
Other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
This time we mean it. I know we're in reports for information.
Make the recommendation that the check register for the month of April 2024 totaling $602, including 17 bill rates and 34 cents to be received.
Second.
Just to clarify, are we receiving for the month of April or for May?
Same
May.
way.
It says me in mine.
On our recommendation, it says April.
All the recommendations.
It's like,
Oh, for goodness sakes. Shouldn't wonder if it's like a full moon or something. That should say May. Yes, please.
Second of May.
All in favor?
Mayor Hunt? Or the-
Okay. Good evening, everyone. You can hear me okay? Okay. No? Mel, was that a no? Okay, I'll try and speak up. I appreciate the opportunity to update you on our paving plan, as I know this is a crucial topic in our community. In my presentation, I'll discuss the roads condition assessment that we conducted in 2021, review the paving projects that have been completed since then, and provide an overview of the paving projects that have been approved in our 5-year capital plan and are slated for completion between 2025 and 2028. As I mentioned, in 2021, we completed a roads condition assessment. Each roadway was visually inspected and driven along and assigned a rating of 1 through 4. A rating of 1 indicates the road is in very poor condition and should ideally be replaced within within a few years, whereas a condition rating of 4 indicated that the road was in generally good condition and could be replaced in 20 years or so. This is the result of our condition assessment. As you can see, many of our roads were given condition ratings of 1 and 2, which are shown in red and yellow respectively. Let's see here. Once we had the results of the condition assessment, we developed a paving plan that prioritized the projects based on the condition, the road classification, so arterial roads that connect different areas of the community are generally given a higher priority than local roads that see only local traffic, lower traffic volumes, and serve lower numbers of people in the community. Also, another consideration was required upgrades to the buried infrastructure in the roadway. For instance, if we had a water main that needed to be replaced in 10 years' time, we likely wouldn't be repaving that road, and we would wait to do them both at the same time, as well as available budget. So, let's see here. Since implementing the paving plan in 2021, we've repaved approximately 6 kilometers of roadway, and that includes the roads that are going to be repaved this year, which are shown in dark gray on your screens. That amounts to around 21% of the overall length of our paved roadways. In 2024, this year, which the paving projects haven't been completed yet, but once they are completed, it will represent a pretty large chunk of paving in 1 year because we were able to partner with the Ministry of Transportation and secure better unit pricing. So once this year is complete, once the paving projects are complete, this is what our condition map will look like. So you're seeing a lot more blue, good condition, and fewer roads that are rated at a very poor. This is obviously subjective. So that will lead us into our plan for the next few years between 2025 and 2028. We'll be repaving 49th Ave Northwest downtown. That will be the 49th Avenue Northwest water main lighting and road upgrades project. So we'll be replacing the water main, upgrading the lighting with the ornamental street lighting, and then repaving the roadway. We're doing this because the water main was installed in the late 1950s, 1958, we suspect. And so it's reached the end of its useful life, needs to be replaced as valves and everything have started to fail. It's difficult for us to isolate anything in the downtown area when our infrastructure is as old as it is. In 2026, we're planning on repaving North Access Road. That'll be part of the North Access Road water main and road upgrade project. Again, that water main was installed in 1962 and it's past its useful life. It does form a critical segment of our distribution system. You can see it basically leads from sort of downtown towards the rec center. In 2027, we have the 45 Place Northeast Water Main and Road Upgrade Project, which is planned as the water main, again, was installed in the 1960s, and the water main there is also undersized. It now feeds the spray park and the library, and it is a 4-inch water line, so we'll be upsizing that to an 8-inch. And now I have time for your questions.
I have a couple. Thank you. Was there a paving plan prior to 2021?
Not that I'm aware of. I think there have been various capital plans created over the years, but I don't think not a specific one related to paving, as far as I'm aware.
I was a little surprised to see so much red and yellow to start out with. And like, I don't know, do you wait until it gets to a very poor condition prior to replacing, or at what point do you start looking at roads for repaving?
It's much more cost effective and better to repave when the roads haven't reached the very poor condition, because if we catch it at the yellow and even the green, you can mill and overlay as the road breaks down further and you have the cracks that go the full depth of the asphalt. It's difficult to repave that and have that paving last longer. So it is better to address it sooner.
And so this specific plan will continue moving forward. I know you've got the that recent one that said 26 and 2025, 2027 on them. Will it continue similar to this format past that date? Like, you will continuously look at what areas are going to need paving, and not just in the capital plan, but have a specific paving plan moving forward?
Well, the paving plan does need to be tied to the 5-year capital plan. Otherwise, that's where we get approval to proceed with those projects. But the paving plan, yeah, but we will continue to evaluate the roads, and we do welcome input from council members. Obviously, this is all dependent on available budget as well.
Thank you.
Thanks for the report, Des. I think a lot of community members are wondering what the heck is going on around here. And it's clear that you have an excellent plan, and it's nice to know what we're working with, so thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Des. I just want to confirm that I'm looking at the right area. So the South Access Road between, I'm just trying to, so 50th Street, and how far exactly does that go down? So from the intersection of 50th Street, which is the between Rupert Seafood and Petrocan, if we're talking landmarks.
Yep.
So that access road, South Access Road, how far down?
Will it be repaved this year?
Yeah. By the end of this year, pretty much all of South Access Road will be repaved. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, so you can see, so this year, this is the portion that will be repaved. This was done last year, and this was done last year, I believe. Okay. Yeah, so it'll be all.
And that's going to be in the next couple months?
In the next couple weeks, I would imagine. Yeah.
I just have a question for like the little smaller chunks, like say in the Crown Sub, there's only like one road, or like a little tiny chunk by like the car wash. Do you try to add on those littler projects, or do you wait for those to be like a like a full neighborhood redo?
I would try and wait for, you know, once we've tendered our projects, if it comes in under budget, then that's when I would look to add on those little sections.
45th Street Northeast, is that included? So that's in yellow, so not this year.
It is not included this year. It is currently not included in our 5-year capital plan.
And is that because of the infrastructure that will be replaced?
It is. So each year we replace probably 3 water service connections that start leaking in that area. And so we are just constantly digging up that area. And so it's a tough one to address. You know, you don't want to be digging up fresh pavement. We are planning on trying a couple different types of road rehabilitation this year. So yeah, various forms of tar and gravel. It is definitely on my radar. I actually drive that road about twice a day, and it is bad.
Going into the DC housing development, I'm not sure what that street is called.
Is it this one here?
Right behind the Chevron pavilion.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a stretch of about 40 feet of gravel there. I don't know if that's ours or DC housing, but it's never been paved, and it's just, I'm just curious why that's like.
Oh, well, it is ours. I suppose it hasn't been paved because we're really trying to focus on rehabilitating our paved roadways that are essentially crumbling. And so repaving or paving new roads has taken a back seat.
Did we have a motion?
Oh.
We need to call for a motion to receive.
Motion to receive the fee report?
Second. All in favor? Great, business.
I have just a couple of old business, medical center repair and the redevelopment. Ready? Oh, sorry.
I heard you. Yeah, it's okay. Starting with the medical clinic, it's in the hands of the insurance adjuster, and we're sending them tersely worded emails like weekly. No idea why they're delaying so much. It seems to be kind of common for insurance companies right now, due to the really large numbers of calls they have to deal with. We haven't lost sight of it. We're not happy with it. We're like I said, Kevin contacts them weekly, if not bi-weekly. They tell us it's going to be done very soon, but they're unable to give us an actual date. The corner lot, they're having a business issue of some type that we're not privy to. They do have considerable money invested in it. They tell us they're going to start work on it as soon as they possibly can. But, like it's a little frustrating for me too to come to council and keep saying, yeah, they tell us they're on it. But, I mean, I put the fence up myself when it flew down because it was a hazard. So I told them they're going to have to start sending me a paycheck if I have to keep helping them all the time. But, yeah, they're telling us it's higher on their priorities. They've got Shell on board with them now, which was a big thing. And when Shell's on board, it's going to happen. It's just a timeline question. Now, on the good news front, I don't know if everybody's noticed, there was a crew working in the Brookside Inn last week, and that's sold. And there's a plan to redevelop that.
Excellent.
And they've actually started on it. So that'll be, what I consider to be one of the most, glaring eyesores will be rectified soon.
Steve's so the Brookside has changed hands. Has the one right next door to you?
I'm not sure. All I know is the Brookside.
And I mentioned last meeting in regards to housing, that I went through that FCM related to something. And I was wondering if we could look into because we can't appear to get a developer into town. We look into going into a partnership with the college to develop a couple of homes or 6 or something like that, like a smaller model type of deal, and run it through a program at the college to benefit our taxpayers as well as the college. I got a plan.
We're always looking for any ideas, any projects that we can tailor to, of course, meet budgets and council approval and everything else. Having Shantae Eldon as the new Dean of Continuing Education is super helpful for that, because she's got a lot of local roots and she's really familiar with Chetwynd, and she's really on board with working with us. So please do send me your ideas and I'll forward them to Shantae and we'll see if we can figure something out.
Thank you.
On that note, do we have land in Chetwynd to build on?
We have a few small places here and there, a couple of lots. We have one lot that we can't build on because it's not stable. We have others that I think. Ellen, how many lots do we have now? We sold the one in the Legion. We have the one by the railroad tracks.
We have 2 available at the trailer park at the Legion, currently listed. We can bring a land inventory back for consideration, but we do have a couple properties, but not a huge amount.
Okay.
But the way the provincial government is letting or forcing us to put anything on that a developer wants to do for 12 units on a post lot.
That's the problem. I mean, like the consistent feedback from local government has been, you don't even have required parking anymore. So you're taking communities, we know local communities that have huge on-street parking issues, and it's now the Wild West. Anybody can build anything they want and they don't have to have parking for them. And that's just one concern. So we'll try to tailor it to conform to legislation, but also to meet our community's needs. And we, as you saw in my letter to the minister last week, we're wondering what developers are supposed to use to build new affordable homes if there's no forestry in BC.
Thank you.
Any other business? Motion to executive business?
So moved.
Second.
What's the voting period?
Oh, you got to vote.
Oh, sorry. All in favor? Yeah, we're moving on to public question period for today's questions.
Marlon Billigo was from Pizza Dimension TV on Baptist Road. And I think that's the protocol to speak. I was just wondering if we could get just an update. A few months ago, we heard that there was an update on getting these speakers fixed again. Heard anything about that? It could be just any information. I only say that because we care about all of your opinions. You guys say some interesting things, and that is feedback that we get then with videos, or just when I'm sitting here and people look at me as if I'm in charge of that. But I wish I could. But yeah, any updates on that? Please. Thank you.
Yeah, Marlon, I hear your concern. Kevin is away today. He has a family matter he had to attend to. I can ask him for the updates. I know he's working on, but I'm not sure where we're at on that.
One thing I was just going to say is that if it's, I guess, staff that could look, you're going to make a finding, we would gladly give our IT Ray, who has hooked up many place this for audio at your disposal for no cost, so that we can all hear better. So keep that in mind.
Thank you very much. That's very kind.
Any other questions?
I was just wondering, it does right 45 A Street down by the one water hole that the trucks go down. I think that's in white. Still, it's just a small portion before you get the regional district at the corner by Waldy's place. Is that gonna be done, like, timeline? Just sorry.
Can I get you just to introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry, my name is Rebecca Halleck at 45 A Street. So we're just looking to see, we spoke, and then we talked about each homeowner paying $100 per home to get a view. But I'm just wondering if there's any way that they can get on the docket, because it is pretty rough down there from all the trucks going down all the time, which is good, trucks are moving.
We do not currently have any plans to pave that road. It serves approximately 5 individual homes. It wasn't paved when it was developed. And so we are focusing our budget on roads that are paved that need to be repaved.
Is there any option to get our tax base lowered by chance then, with the dirt road?
That's a question for Kevin.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Kelly Tricker. Just concerned individual. The hospital road, I don't see any immediate plan for it. Is there one?
Is there an issue with it?
Yeah, there is. It's rough.
I've driven it quite a few times and I guess I would disagree.
Okay, but if you're sitting in the back of an ambulance and you're running up that road and you've got broken bones, that's a rough piece of road.
Noted.
Thanks.
Any further questions? We're going to adjourn next.
A motion to adjourn.
Second.
Uh-oh. What is gonna happen? A gold armor skeleton!
She almost lost her only friend. No.
Hey, Cat. I have a bone to pick with you.
Welcome to Chat TV Gaming.
Well, I don't know as it is really a band, but we just get together and play together. So anytime when people would come over to visit, we would just pull out the instruments and start playing. Dad would be on the fiddle, Joanne on the piano, Levine on the guitar. I was usually pretty small then. So anyway, Clem, he learned to play the piano, and well, he plays lots of things. Yeah, no, whenever we get together, it's just always been music. There's nothing like music. Life wouldn't be the same without music.